Hello, lovelies, and welcome to a dynamic download of the Limitless Podcast. We are going to talk about how we can do a deep reflection on how 2023 went and walk into 2024. So, if you're able, take a quick moment. I would love for you to take two big deep breaths with me. Maybe close your eyes if it feels right, because we're going to reflect. This is not a data driven, let's look at our numbers episode. This is a how do we feel about this year and how can we walk into 2024 feeling good? So, two big deep breaths with me. So, inhale and exhale. Inhale exactly what we want to feel about 2023 and exhale. So let's take a moment to really think about how we can look at the last 12 months and walk into the first 3 months of our next year. So first and foremost, I want you to reflect on when you felt your best in this year. Now, this can be accomplishment specific, but I really want to lean into this phrase. When did you feel your best, particularly in these three key areas: with your health, in your relationships, and in your business? So using this as an example, I felt my best with my health when I was prepping for that that 10K run. I felt like I was getting outside, I was with nature, I was seeing my friends more. I was absolutely pushing myself in the health in my health, but also feeling so good in my body. That is going to be one of my key moments where I felt my best. So accomplishment wise, maybe I didn't get the best run time that day, but I knew that I was leaning into my best health. So I want you to think about it. I would say, or at least for me, when I did this exercise, it was 5 under each of these three key areas. I wanted to make sure I was like, when did I feel my absolute best? What did I accomplish in my health, in my relationships, in my business? Take a second and know that you have to be, and I don't like to say shoulds, but you have to be your biggest cheerleader. So once you decide what these are, this is the absolute opportunity for you to go, damn, I did that thing. Oh my God, I love that. I want more of that. I decided to choose differently and went after something bigger. I deserve to celebrate that. I was recently listening to a book where the idea that when we reach the top, then we don't feel like that anything else is good. We have to be in the celebration. I think it was about Buzz Aldrin, about him being on the moon. And he was like, oh, I don't know what's next. Well, where am I going to go next from here? But the idea is be in the moment, celebrate where you're at so you can absolutely see where you want to go next. So starting there, health, relationship, business. Next, review the common blocks that came up for you. Think about what might have stopped you this year when it comes to selling, or when your energy felt blocked, or even when you were just not motivated to get out of bed. I want you to think about anything that was failures this year as a way to know that they're the fruits of transformation, that they're ultimately something that you want to collect. I'm going to give a little shout out to a future guest. I loved her phrase saying, collecting failures. How did you collect failures this year? By being aware of the ways in which you didn't hit the things that you wanted to that might have been blocking you, you have a competitive advantage. You're going to be able to overcome them better. Think of this as a game or a science experiment. Start there. Next year, take a moment to think about who or what made the biggest difference for you this year. Share your gratitude for anything and everyone who absolutely made this year feel memorable, feel exciting, everywhere in between. I'm going to tell you that my husband made this year extra helpful in the stressful moments. I'm going to make sure he knows that before the year is out. But the idea is I'm going to take a moment. I'm also going to take a moment to be like, what absolutely guided me? Whether that was an app I was using to a routine that I had, take a moment to be like, well, what made the biggest difference for me this year? And take a moment to share that gratitude, whether it's for yourself or for somebody else or for your systems. The next one here, when it comes to reflecting on 2023, when did you feel pure joy? I know this is going to be like, well, I just talked about gratitude, Jamie. Isn't this enough? I want you to remember like going like, oh my God, life gets to feel this abundant. I want you to think about and list as many of those events in your year that made you go, "Oh my God, this is amazing. This is what I've wanted. This is what I want more of." That might have been after a really solid meditation. That might have been after a night out with friends that you haven't been leaving the house enough and you want more of that. That might have been travel. All of these could be really strong ways for you to go, life is about finding that joy. How can I make room for it coming into 2024? So now that we know and taking the moment of what went well and what was blocking us or where we need to share our gratitude for 2023, I don't want you to make resolutions for 2024. I just want to put that out there. I want you to set maybe a few goals for the first 3 months of 2024. Let me repeat, no resolutions. We're going to say, okay, how would I like the first 3 months of my year to look? How would I like to feel? Think about this as 90-day goals instead of thinking about, oh, I've got 365 days to make this happen. What feels like something you can do within the first 3 months of your year? I would put maybe three. Don't go over three goals for your first quarter. And I want you to go through this process. When you decide which goals you have, first lean into why you want that goal. So let's say you want to reach 10K followers on Instagram. Why? Not just because it's like a good status symbol, it is what it is. Why would you like to have a community of 10K? What would happen there? Lean in. What obstacles can you force? So once you know those obstacles, you want to build the if then these if then conditions where if you find yourself at the end of the day and forgot to post, can you repurpose? Then I will repurpose an old post. If I don't feel good about how social media for the day, then I will do some of that internal work so that I can lean in to realize that social media can be supportive to me. So being able to think about how the obstacles that regularly come up with this goal and then being able to move past them. So this is your way of taking a really holistic look at your year. So quick reminder, when did you feel your best? What were the common blocks? How did you collect failures this year? Who and what made the biggest difference, and share that big gratitude for them or those things. List your pure moments of joy. And instead of setting New Year's resolutions, set a 90-day goal and make sure you know your why behind it. All right, all. Until then, live a little more limitless.